English stream for any of this apart from Group D yesterday. So if you missed Groups A, B, and C, and even the qualifiers, we are going to be bringing you guys... We are going to be bringing you guys the best games of the qualifiers Groups A, B, and C from tomorrow, I believe. Again, I haven't planned it out exactly just yet, so you're going to have to give me a little while to like figure it out exactly, right? But... yeah, so basically Groups A, B, and C in qualifiers will be doing the best matches either tomorrow or Friday. Basically, over the next few days, you can catch those matches from the Leifeng Cup here on the channel. It'll be from replays. I mean, the results already known. But it'll still be some good games to kind of have a look at. So maybe worth checking out as we set up into this best of 3. It's all said and done, so that's... yeah, we can just sort of talk about this game now instead. Perfect. So yeah, cool. So cool, that's what's going on. So you guys, yeah, that's all I have to say. Make sure you keep your eyes out for that. Hit the follow button, see when we go live. I'll try and tweet about it when we're going to be doing that again. I'm not 100% sure just yet. We might do it tomorrow evening, actually. Might be the best shot. In fact, I think that probably would be best. I think that's probably when we are going to do it. We're just going to have to double check with another couple of things. It's going to be a busy few days. Tomorrow we have OSC Global All-Stars from 11 AM CET. And then we have SGL from 2 PM CET. We're going to be having SGL on Friday as well as WardiTV qualifiers. Same on Saturday, but we'll also be starting the day on Saturday with IEM qualifiers. Sunday IEM qualifiers into Go for SC2 and Top Dogs. Monday we'll be doing Top Dogs after the Leifeng Cup qualifier as well. So basically, there's a lot of different games and a lot of different pieces of action going on in the stream here over the next few days. So make sure you hit the follow button to see when it all goes live. Perfect. Alright, next is first from herO. Is what I was building up to say, and Impact to the bottom right is going to be going for the hatch first. Try to take a third hatch, not able to, as the probe does manage to block it off with this pylon. So able to shut that down. And we're just going to be seeing this probe. We're going to keep on having a look around to see what else is going on. Cool. So a couple of Lings are going to be chasing this probe away, and not going to be able to do too much more. Third hatch will be able to come down shortly then from Impact. Hasn't impacted him, no pun intended, hasn't impacted him too much here. As we're going to be seeing this probe being chased away by a couple of Zerglings. So Zergling's going to be continuing to chase that probe over towards the bottom left-hand side. And yeah, just going to be continuing to go over here as the 2 Adepts come out. We'll be looking to pressure early. And behind it, a Stargate player from herO to continue pressuring and to see where he can get to in this game. We'll see what his opening will be, whether it'll be Phoenix or the Oracles. I mean, 2 Oracles very common, the Phoenix very common as well. 1 Oracle into a Phoenix or Void Ray as well can work to get rid of a whole bunch of the different things too. So I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. As you see, these 2 Adepts going to keep on shading forwards here. There's 1 Zergling from Impact. Is going to get picked off straight away. These 2 Adepts will jump in towards the mineral line and see what damage they can get done. As there isn't that many Lings just yet, but more on the way. First drone getting picked off already. He's actually not going to get another just yet, and actually 1 Adept going down means he's only picked off 2 drones. He's going to get a 3rd one now in the main base. Doesn't quite make that Spore Crawler. It's very close to becoming a Spore Crawler. This one too. But there's the Adepts go down, but hey, 4 drone kills is pretty decent for 2 Adepts. So in the end, the Adepts get done what they need to get done, and actually this probe stays alive, sits in the natural now, as Lings will immediately go to counterattack. Adept in the wall though is going to be good. I'm just going to be seeing the pylon coming up behind these couple of gateways as well. So pylon stays up behind these couple of gates, and these Lings are all going to be gathering together from Impact, maybe looking to see what they can get up to here very, very soon. Stargate starting to Corona boost out this Oracle, so Oracle is on the way here, and I'm going to see what he can get done with this, as we see the Oracle going to go all the way over to the bottom right hand side of the map. Creep team is going to continue to come up at the front, and again Creep just spreading out as we see the Oracle just looking to see what he can get up to. Comes in towards the natural mineral line. He's going to start picking away at a couple of these drones. So a couple of drones picked off, 3 workers killed, and considering he killed 4 workers earlier with the Adepts, another 3 is already going to be a little bit painful. So that's 7 workers now killed. Second Oracle coming up as well, just to get some even further damage done in the next few moments. Impact going to be going up towards the top side, and again looking around at these Lings to see what else is going to be going on. Bane and Nest coming down, Evolution Chamber coming into play as well. Just getting set up in towards a Ling Bane playstyle for the mid game of New Gettysburg. It should be interesting to see how it goes. Single Phoenix coming up, and it should just be the 1 Phoenix, mostly designed to get rid of these Overlords, and that should be about it. I actually sort of prefer personally the Void Ray rather than the Phoenix, just because you can get rid of the Overlords, and then you can sit over here and just much more easily deny, say, an Overlord drop in towards your main base or so. Whereas the Phoenix doesn't quite kill it off fast enough to make that kind of super substantial. So, either way, I mean, it can still work out as the Oracles fly past these lanes. No Revelation tagging just yet. We'll see if they're just going to dive for some workers in the next few moments as herO. A nice little position for now, 47 to 47 workers. Just looking to be even on army supply as well. So I'd say he's feeling pretty good as his third base coming up. Very well protected with double overcharge and depths available. He picks off 2 more drones over here, but does lose the lower health Oracle. Slight shame about that. I mean, obviously the more Oracles you have up, the more Revelations and so on you have. But at least he still has one of these Oracles up. I mean, that is the important part of this. And as the Queens come in again, and just get a bit of the shields off of this now as he'll just back away. Doesn't want to do too much of this, doesn't want to lose this being too greedy. Drops a Revelation to try and get some information, and we'll be able to see when the lair finishes because of that. So that's actually some good info for him as well. Gives him the timings of a lot of the builds that are, a lot of the tech structures which could be coming down next, such as this Hydra Den, which comes down actually, is that Envision from the Revelation? Just not. So that's a little bit of a shame. But either way, it gives them a rough idea as to when to maybe expect Hydras, if Hydras is what's going to be off the lair. Which is actually, to be fair, something that does happen pretty frequently. Thank you very much, by the way, to Risky for the 10-month free sub, and to Dark Ones for the cheer 100. Thank you much, guys. Much love. Some cheers, some hearts in the chat also, please, from other subs. Let's get the STU heart hype rolling once again. Lots of STU high heart moments today. Thank you everyone for supporting, do appreciate it, and for tuning in as well. Been a great day of Leifeng Cup games so far, a bit of a longer day of Leifeng Cup than usual. Lower bracket taking longer than usual, but hey, means we get more games, which I'm not complaining about, so all good on my end. As we see, Feelings actually do sneak by in towards the main base here from Impact, sneaks in towards the main. A couple more adepts, Zealots actually get warped in just to defend this, and Charges on the way up. Very standard composition coming in from herO. And I was just going to be seeing Charge out of Mortal Archon as his way to fight against this sort of Lingbane Hydra composition coming out of Impact. Natural transition from Impact will to be going towards a few lurkers, which is where the kind of Immortals and Archons really become a big thing. We really need to make sure that Immortals are around to help deal with those lurkers once that transition comes into play. Third base is going to take a little bit down. She had Bane job, doesn't do too much though. 3 workers killed isn't a lot, but it is still a little bit of damage, so little bits and pieces. Oracle still flying around, runs into a couple of Hydras, nice Revelation, and still stays alive as well, which is important. This Phoenix isn't so important to keep him alive, but it's still nice for map vision, just to kind of keep an eye on maybe some pathways, just in case some unrevelated units do try and make their way through in certain directions. Charge going to be finishing up here. Temple Archives finished as well for High Templar. 6 High Templar get added on as we see the Archon starting to come into play. So they're going to be ready in time for this big Ling Hydra attack. And again, we should probably see some Banes with this as well. Impact looking to get quite aggressive with this, honestly. Taking a 4th base behind this now. Spire on the way up as well as +2 melee for Overlord starting up too. So just making sure he's not hitting those supply blocks, keeping his mechanics rolling here. That's the Ling Hydra force. Looking to see how aggressive it wants to be. I mean, Spire's on the way, so already looking for tech switch, so probably not looking to be too aggressive. You know, if he gets aggressive, he has to morph in Banes. If he morphs in Banes, he has less gas. If he has less gas, that's less mutas. Less mutas means less winning of the game, because mutas are pretty good. So it's quite, it makes a lot of sense to sort of maybe just not play quite as aggressively. Morph a few Balins in here and there. For the most part, just sort of sit back and see what else happens. And see Zealots, Immortals, and Archons all gathering up together here from herO. Looking to see what they can get up to. So we're going to be seeing these units just going up towards the top side once again. We're going to be seeing Phoenix just moving around still. This Phoenix just going to keep on picking up some information. Again, the more information you can get, the better it's generally going to be for you. And it would be great if you could have scouted this Spire coming into play. He just has no idea about it at all. War Prism hasn't made it to the main base or anything, so he really has no clue. Phoenix gets shut down, so he doesn't get towards the 3rd base to see the Spire even. So these mutas are going to be a complete surprise, and herO, well, is he going to be prepared to deal with this? Well, maybe. In a way, yes. In a way, no. In a way, he's already counterattacking, so that's actually quite a nice way to start. As Zealots charge into towards those first 3 Balins, a little bit of a mistake there by herO. Not exactly what you want things to go initially. But actually, most importantly right now is the fact that he just doesn't have much anti-air in this army. He is actually going to start going across the map, so they're going to start going towards the main base. He just doesn't have anything. Like, he doesn't have Storm yet. Blink is only just building. If these pylons go down, that's a lot of key upgrades which are going to be lost. +2 as well, especially. He actually goes towards the natural straight away with these meters, so worker damage will be done. herO realizes he probably has to fight forwards here. Probably has to warp in some Stalkers over across with this main army. Warps a few Stalkers over here. You're going to see the move shift core at the third base. Needs to start dropping some overcharges. herO drops a couple. Doesn't get the third one off, though. There's a few of those meters low, and some meters are going to start going down as we see some Archons at the front going to start doing the tanking for this main army. But herO's army is just disappearing into this Hydroling Bane. His sort of desperation counterattack here, which the meters have forced him into, has just not worked at all. Impact has way too much, and Impact is going to go up 1-0 in this best of 3. Wow. Impact taking game number 2 now of this series. herO is down again. Let's see if he can bounce back. He spawns in as the blue pros player to the bottom left-hand side. It is herO. And to the top right side of the map, our red Zerg player is Impact. 1-0 up. Can he make a grand final appearance against Innovation? Well, let us find out. As he set up here, see what's going to happen. I'm just going to be seeing a gateway coming down. Gateway first coming in from herO then, so gateway opening. What else is going on then? Hatchery, no, hatchery first. Gas pool coming in from Impact. So a little bit more of an aggressive opening. See what he's going to try and get done with this in the next few moments here. So see how this goes for him. As probably going to come back in towards the main base, have a little bit of a scout around in this main. Again, just poking around, seeing what's up, seeing what's happening. I'm just going to be seeing the drone actually going to sneak away. Just going to take the third base first. And on Galactic Process, probably one of the easier maps to take multiple bases on. I mean, the natural is very well protected. The third base very well protected. All of these rocks definitely help out. Definitely positions which can attack the third base. But in terms of taking it straight away, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's just certain units like the Siege Tank, for example, that are very powerful on this map because of the ledges kind of down here which reach the third base. So, third base is generally quite easy to take early game though, like super early on. So, yeah, just going to be seeing this probe just moving around a little bit from here, just scouting. Just see the kind of gas pool rather than the hatchery first. So you'll be aware of the slightly faster link speed, hitting in at like 3 minutes to 3:10 rather than 3:30. I was just going to be seeing that next. It's about halfway done here. Cybercore is just over halfway done as well. Never Pylon comes on down. And I'll just continue to set up into this. Assimilator just going to be finishing up in at the main base. So 2 gases for herO. We're really just watching to see what sort of tech he's going to go for. Already a much different build to what he used in the first game. No Nexus first, no double gateway. So let's see if he's going to go for kind of a Twilight Council this time. Resonating Glaives attack. This is another fairly decent map to go Stargate on, honestly, because it's a fairly long rush distance for Adepts to do much damage. So the Stargate can be a nice way to open instead. Go into an Oracle or 2 early on, just to harass. I mean, honestly, the opening from herO in the last game wasn't bad. In fact, the herO opening was good. I feel as though the Stargate might be the best way to go again. He is going to drop it down. I mean, you think about it. If you go Stargate here, well, it first of all gives him the units he needs to kind of deflect the meters, which were a big issue in the last game. Or not the units he needs, but the structure he needs to build those. He might go Phoenix. So that's a big plus already. But also just the fact that, yeah, in the last game this worked well. That wasn't the reason he died. He died because of lack of scouting. So I feel like sticking to this is probably a fairly decent idea. Stargate once more. Glaives attacks just don't really work on this map. Like, not very many ways into the bases. Like, you can't jump between the natural and third easily. I mean, you can, but then you can't get out of the third base super easy. You get cornered in, so really not the best of maps for Glaives at all. And so instead we do see Stargate coming up. So Stargate it is. Set up into this and see how we go. Oracle going to be the opening then. So again, we maybe see an Oracle into Phoenix. We may just see the 2 Oracles once more. I mean, there's a few different ways of going about it. So a few different ways we can do it, and yeah, we'll see what exactly it's going to be. This time it's actually going to be cancelling the Oracle and going into Phoenix. Probably because these Lings come in and do scout it there, I guess. So Lings come in, they scout it, they see what's up. I'm just going to be seeing these Lings going to back away now. So he goes into Phoenix instead. Second Stargate too. Alright, well, herO going to play very interesting opening here. Double Stargate from the get-go is very different. Going to be really focused on just Sky Toss from the very beginning of this. So very different way to play from herO. So we enter Galactic Process. Overlord tries to come into Scout again, but will not get close enough to see the second Stargate. So it's a good defense by herO again. Movement in the Scout information of his opponent is huge right now. The thing is, though, like double Stargate Phoenix play, people figured this out. They realized, hey, this is actually very weak to Hydra Bane. That's why Hydra Bane became a thing in the first place. And so I wonder, with a Bane that's already on the way up, you have to imagine Impact's probably heading towards at least some sort of Bane composition. when he sees Phoenix or multiple Phoenix, he'll probably go in towards Hydras as well. I'm surprised he hasn't, I mean, yeah, I guess he hasn't got a lair yet, but I'm surprised he doesn't go lair ASAP now to start getting Hydras up ready for these incoming Phoenix. As we see, well, quite a few Lings actually moving across the map. I mean, does he just Bane burst through and try and get some further damage done? I don't think that's really the best way to go about things. He's making extra Queens for now, which is a nice start to get kind of help against these Phoenix, but it's not immediately enough. As you're going to see these probe actually going to wall itself in with these pylons. For now, it will actually be enough. There's pylons on the low ground. We'll keep the probe safe, as Adepts will help out as well. A couple of Banes actually coming in on the high ground to try and sneak in towards the mineral line here. Can be difficult though. I mean, Adept in position. This is a solid wall off on this natural expansion, so it's not like these Banes are going to get into the mineral line very easily. As you can see, moves in. We'll end up just having to trade with these two Adepts. And obviously they don't really trade, they just take down shields. It's not even that much of an issue. In fact, they take down at 0 health, just completely all the shields on the Adepts. As we're going to be seeing these two Phoenix just going to be picking off this Queen. So Queen goes down. And we're just going to be seeing another couple of Queens just going to get lifted up. And yeah, just damage being done. I mean, this is the problem with the Queens, I feel like. I mean, it's sort of like the same problem as Hydras. Initially, when you go into Hydras, you know, they start getting picked off a couple at a time if they're on their own. This is exactly happening the same thing with the Queens. Too many Phoenix too quickly, and the Queens aren't enough. Bakeling being counterattack coming in though, and so this is going to turn into a bit of an interesting game where there isn't really that much back over here at all for hero to defend with. I mean, a few Adepts, they get killed pretty quickly by these Banes. Like, they die surprisingly fast. These Banes, you're going to see Banes going to start pushing on through, going to start exploding. Oh my god, these Adepts are all clumped up in the back, so Adepts starting to go down. I mean, these workers are going to be demolished as well. Overcharge coming down. Main base is going to be in a lot of trouble too. There's an Oracle coming in to try and help out. We'll actually target down some of these Banelings. Wow, that's actually a huge deal, because actually if those Banes just connected on a few of those probes, it could be such a different game. In fact, maybe he should have used some Banelings on some probes earlier, because now he's only killed 13 workers for all of these units he's committed into this fight. It's not really kind of the way you want this to go. Alright, so a little bit strange. You're going to see more Lings coming out through the center of the map. As Impact will immediately just go and sort of pull some units back up. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, these Phoenix are still on the map, and with Lone Queen in the center is something which hero could pick off very easily. Turns around and will come in and kill this off now, so picks this up. Yeah, Impact is sort of dead. Like, he did not do anywhere near enough damage with that attack. He should have done. I feel as though those Banelings should have connected in towards those workers. There's points where he could have rolled a lot more Banelings into those workers, but instead said, hey, I think the Lings can do the job. The Lings couldn't do the job. They didn't manage to get it done. They didn't kill enough workers. So, big mistakes by Impact has cost him what could have been a 2-0 over hero. I mean, the game is not over yet, but you sort of look at the supply, and it's very much so may as well be, you know, like 95 to 73, and the Zerg players on 73, and equal on workers half the army supply. In a way, I guess, there is, you know, Phoenix up here, which is like, in a way, it's like, hey, well, you know, actually I'm behind on army supply, but hey, a lot of these Phoenix, you know, a lot of these units don't necessarily help out immediately in the fight. But at the same time, these Phoenix are going to do a very good job of making sure the Zerg player doesn't come back into the game at all. You know, he's going to make sure the Zerg player stays behind workers, can't take a better position. So that's obviously something that's really interesting to think about too. Another little thing to think about is why hero took this third base. It's something a lot more pros players will do. It's something pros players will do more than other races. And it's just because actually down towards this base here, getting attacked in from this direction, and this direction can be very annoying. And that's when kind of just doing an attack by sort of one direction sort of helps a bit more, helps you push across the map a bit more easily. It's interesting because like this base is not necessarily a bad base. I think another thing is as well though that this base is a bit more open, which against certain compositions can be a bit nicer because this base here is very punishable by say a few units get in position, then you get caught in a choke point trying to defend your base from this position down here. So it's a little bit awkward, and there's a few different reasons basically why hero can take that forward base instead of the kind of the normal base you'd expect to be taken on Galactic as the third. Ship core just attacking its own zealot. hero just does not like this zealot, this poor guy. Thought it was a changeling, isn't a changeling. Definitely isn't a changeling. Change the time, one hit, buddy. This mothership core's a murderer. He just wanted more kills, man. He's on 7 kills, he was on 6 kills. You know what? I want 7 kills. Kills my own zealot to get the job done. Disgusting. Mothership core, so greedy. So selfish. Feels like Zerg's trying to burst through the frontier. Bane's actually trying to help out, but it's a nice force field. Lost the pylon, lost a little bit of power to a few gates, but I mean realistically, There's enough units here to defend it, and so herO continues to shut this down, and Impact is again not able to find any damage here right from the get-go. So herO's still looking pretty good. Small Lings gathering together towards the third base. Still just getting ready to maybe do a bit more damage. Obviously it's not the third base this time around, but the usual third base positioning, as the fourth base of Impact gets denied by these Phoenix coming in. This is the problem as well, no fourth base for our Berserk player. You know, at this point in the game, the Zerg should be on a fourth base, so that's really something he's missing out on right now. As we're going to see a Sasword coming down to deny this base. He does manage to actually grab absolutely nothing. The Sasword gets killed by the Hydras. Oracle even staying alive there as well on 4 HP towards the end, so another little victory for our Protoss player who goes into Storm, goes into Immortals, extra gateways. Again, eventually herO just has enough to push across the map and win. It's just a matter of getting up the right units to do that with, because immediately here he's not on the units to kind of go and kill with. You know, Phoenix aren't very kind of... Phoenix aren't the units that kill straight away. They harass until players kind of fall down dead. So a bunch more harassment bases. Again, baiting counterattacks, going to bust through a pile, and a few probes will go down. 4, and actually still stacked up workers over here. 7, 8 in total. It's not bad. Another attack upgrade on those Banes, and they could have done so much more again, but either way, just going to be seeing the just pull him back a little bit. I'm just going to be seeing a Lurker on the way up. I mean, that's the natural transition for Impact, but the thing is, herO's not going to let him get to that Lurker Den, or that to the Lurkers at least. When you consider there's 20 seconds of morphing in Lurkers after that Den finishes, herO looks very ready to fight at this point already, you know? Like, you look at this, he's already set up on Storm, multiple high energy, high temp lift. He's got some Immortals mixed in here as well. Phoenix can get a little bit lower. Still has a few Oracles up though to utilise in the engagements. As herO begins to move forwards and just looks to see what he can get set up to do here. As Hydras and Billings and Banes to the right hand side. Just going to sit around, see what they can do next. A few more Banes going to morph in. There's a few more Banes coming in right now, and here we go. These units are going to start moving their way through these rocks, actually, busting those down pretty quickly. A few force fields available. Not many, but a few, and it might just be a few that you need to kind of get rid of. Then you'll kind of sort of, just cut this army in half, right? Give you a few extra seconds to kill off the base. The little force field is actually protecting against a few Banes from the right-hand side there, as the Snake Colossus is not doing too much. Storm's going down again. Not the best Storms just because the units aren't clumped up. I mean, it's actually just good positioning out of Impact to make sure the Storms can't do a lot. Problem is, there's just so much for herO. He's pushing up this base anyway, lifting up these Lurkers so that they cannot get the chance to actually finish morphing in. Lifting up the Lurker eggs even, I should say. As there's the GG, and Impact will type out, and game 2 goes the way of herO. Going to be happening as we have to the bottom right side of Frozen Temple, the blue Protoss player. It is going to be herO. Tying this series up with some good kind of Ling defense against the Ling Bane counterattacks, and just the Phoenix giving them a lead early on, really put him into a great position to move forwards with, as we have to the top left hand side, the red Zerg player Impact. Yeah, really kind of just the defense, the kind of so much commitment to the Ling Bane from herO, from Impact, sorry, and it just killed 12 workers, which just was not enough. And at the same time, the Phoenix were doing so much, picked off so many queens initially, 4 spores, killed off so many drones as well because there was no queens to push them away. Turned out to be pretty decent for our Protoss player. So that put him into a good position in game 2, and now we're tied up 1 apiece. Winner of this plays Innovation in the grand finals. Innovation is yet to play Impact yet today, but he has played herO. We saw that in the winner bracket finals, which Innovation came out of 2-0. So that would be an interesting rematch. I think that's the rematch a lot of people might be hoping for here, although I'm sure there are some Zerg fans out there as well who'll be cheering on Impact and would like to see Impact going through and having a pretty good time himself. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go as we do set on up into game 3 of this series. Probe comes over to the third base from herO, just to try and block once again, slow down the Zerg player's third base from coming down. And obviously the more he does that, the better it is in general, as we see that drone continue to chase, continue to fight against this this probe. There's a couple of Lings and the drone going to turn and fight onto that pylon. That pylon going to start taking quite a bit of damage. There's the cancel coming down. Hatchery comes in as well. So Hatchery gets placed here by Impact, and I'm just going to see those few Zerglings on Impact. Also having a little bit of a think as to what they might want to try and do. Probe here, we're going to keep on moving around, and again, just getting chased away by these few Zerglings. Link speed is just over halfway done. Robo facility is on the way up as well from herO, so continue to set that up as well. Robo going to be in play very, very shortly as Stalker finishes up, as Sentry begins as well. And again, this probe from herO just going to keep on being chased around, trying to get some more information, but the Queen is able to clean it up in the very, very end. Now, Stalker pushing away an Overlord 2, and still a very standard sort of early game. Robo facility is interesting though. I'm intrigued to see where this may go, because Robo super early is generally for Warp Prism to be aggressive with, which is fine, but then where do you go after that? You know, why don't you get a Twilight first for an upgrade or so, is my sort of question. So intrigued what this Robo is for. I mean, it must just be for Warp Prism into the third Nexus or so. If you really want to, you could add on a whole ton of extra gates. I mean, there's a lot of sentries coming up, so it's definitely going to be aggression. Yeah, that actually might work as well, the Immortal kind of attack. Didn't really think about that one, but it could definitely work, the Immortal all in. So the sentries are very indicative of aggression, because you're obviously looking to get sentry energy early to have plenty of force fields later, which obviously help you fight. The Immortal is obviously going to be very powerful here, so it's going to be an interesting one, as we're just going to be seeing the Immortal about to pop out. So Immortal about to pop out, as we're going to see a link dropping towards the mid. Now this is interesting. herO has a probe Patron, so you will see this. What will his response be though? And actually any single Zerg getting in here of link speed is maybe problematic, because he's going to see a lot of these gateways which are on the way up, or just the sentries and the Immortal. Also good information from the get-go. herO is sort of being figured out already. Now an overcharge goes down as these links try and get some worker damage done. He's going to try and pick up a couple of these probes. Gets actually a lot of them very low, but doesn't kill any. As an Immortal out the front is actually having a little bit of trouble here as well. And he's actually going to lose an Immortal. herO, what was this Immortal doing? It goes down. Big pick off by impact, and this is going very badly wrong right now for herO. He's lost his one Immortal. And that was his only Immortal, so that loses so much of his firepower going into this. And Ling Roach being made across the map from impact, man. This is really looking as though impact is going to have way too much to defend this. I don't feel as though there's going to be anything herO can do against this at all. This is going to be pretty crazy. As we're going to be seeing this Ling Roach and a couple of Ravagers as well going to come in. I mean, Ravagers to help pop some force fields. I mean, sentries can lift up into the Warp Prism and try and help get away. One Adept goes down. A few more Stalkers going to try and come to the side. More links being made. Impact knows all he has to do is defend this now because of how much his opponent commits into this. And that's exactly what he's doing at this point, just making sure he has enough to defend. Ravagers are also nice, a third Ravager especially, because with 3 Ravagers you can actually shoot down the Warp Prism. Was it 4 Ravagers? It might be 4 Ravagers. I think with 4 Ravagers you can shoot down the Warp Prism. So if it's in warping mode, you can get very low health. A couple of Queen shots would take it down with 3 Ravagers. So that's going to be nice as well. You can see those corrosive bars. Where's he going to put them? Actually might have to use them on the force fields here, because the force fields are pretty good, although not that much energy behind this. Finally he pops the corrosive bars. Took a little while to do that. Could have been a little bit faster, honestly. As the Roaches and Ravagers looking to see what they can do. And maybe herO getting some progress here because of that first initial engagement, which actually turned out to be pretty decent. You'll see a few more Adepts just warping in, a few more in front of this as well. I'm just going to be seeing these units all beginning to move on forwards. And we're going to keep on trading. A couple of crossbars coming down again. Ling's counter-attacking though. And it's 8 workers going down across the map. 11 now. And still those Lings being dealt with. 12 in total it seems. As we see this attack continuing across the map. But herO just doesn't have very much anymore. And this should be Impact, I think. Making it through to the Grand Finals to play off against Innovation. See who's going to be the Leifeng Cup number 157 champion. As you can see, these Roaches and Ravagers are going to clean through a few more Depths, clean through a few more Stalkers. There goes that Warp Prism. Corrosive Bars and a Queen to help out. GG. Impact takes the 2-1 victory in the loser bracket final. And Impact will go up against Innovation in today's Grand